Sorry about the zoom there. That was from the previous video. So as I was saying, this video is going to primarily focus on your 2-point perspective page. Now remember, with 2-point linear perspective, you will not have any horizontal lines because you don't see the front of any of your buildings. You will only see corners and sides. So all of your lines will either be vertical or they will be diagonal, going back toward the vanishing points. So this one, because again, it is below my vanishing point and horizon line, I see the top and I see both sides and I see the corner. This one we've started or has been started for us, and we see one side going back to that left side vanishing point. So then our first task is to put in the other side, which is going to, again, line up with the right hand vanishing point and the corner of that form. And then just like with the 1-point perspective, we're going to close it off with a line that is parallel to the front. So this is side number 1, side number 2, and then you see the corner. So let's zoom in real quick on that. So basically every side, everything on this side will recede to this vanishing point. Everything on this side, windows, doors, whatever, will recede to the vanishing point that's right here on the right-hand side. So left side of the building is going to go toward the left vanishing point. Right side will go toward the right vanishing point. Now when we start to get to the tops and bottoms of things, like we'll look at on this example next, you will actually use the opposite vanishing point. So let's go ahead and do the part that we know. So right now I've got my right side going to my right vanishing point. Sorry, left side going to left vanishing point. And then I'm going to do the right side going to the right vanishing point. So it looks kind of like this. My next step is going to be, of course, to close off with my parallel lines so that this is the side here. And I'm going to close off with the parallel line back here, so that that is the side there. So now the next thing that I'm going to do, just to make this easier for you guys to see, is I'm going to go ahead and erase the diagonal lines that I don't need anymore. Just to go ahead and get those lines out of our sight so that they're not complicating issues. Because now I have to put the bottom of this form. And so I'm going to go to the left side, this bottom corner on that left side. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. I'm going to go to this corner here, which remember is part of my left side, but because I want to get the bottom of that building in, I have to find the back of it. So I'm going to go from this corner to the opposite vanishing point. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. From this corner to the opposite vanishing point. And then where they intersect would be like the back of the bottom. And then I would just erase these diagonal lines. And what we are left with is a form to where we see the bottom, side, and side. So that is, again, how you would do a floating building if it was in 2-point perspective. So we'll go to this one next so that you guys can see the opposite thing again. Right hand side, right vanishing point. Left hand side, left vanishing point. So then the next thing I'm going to do is close off with my parallel line. I'm going to make it a little wider here. So there's a parallel line. And then same thing over here. Parallel line. Because remember, the sides and corners will always be just vertical. The tops and bottoms will be diagonal. And then to close it off, I'm going to go to the opposite vanishing point. And then again down here, opposite vanishing point. So then this would be the top, and this is the furthest back corner of the top. So then I can just erase those diagonal lines that I don't need anymore. And that would be if you were looking down on a building to where you can see part of the top. So again, we'll just zoom in briefly here so that you guys can see sort of side, side, and top. And then I'll zoom back out and finish up the worksheet for us. Because remember, this worksheet, the 1-point perspective worksheet, and your explanation of the city that you would like to draw is due on Monday. If you cannot print the worksheet at home and you are working at home and I did not give you the paper copy that I am currently working on, just do the best that you can to replicate it. So this one is a bit weird because, as you can see, the side pretty much just lines up. So in this particular case, we're going to close off here, and then we're going to go to the opposite vanishing point for the top part. Let's see here. And then we'll just put a back line on there that goes, again, to that opposite vanishing point. And you're just not going to see much of this side at all, simply because it is so close in proximity to that vanishing point. So that's one thing that you, as the person designing your city, can be in control of. Be smart about where you put your lines. Don't put any line to where it's in a difficult spot. Lining up with the vanishing point in the corner. I'm just not drawing my line all the way back anymore. Because if you get to the point where you don't need to draw your line all the way back, that's absolutely fine. You don't necessarily have to. For a lot of people, it helps when they're first learning out to draw their line all the way back. Those diagonal lines. But once you get the hang of it, you may really not need to, and that's fine. So again, just going to my opposite vanishing points to close off the back here. So again, left side, left vanishing point. Really exciting. Right side, right vanishing point. And this is going to be another one that's similar to that one on the other side where it's very thin and we might not see much of this side. But we will see a little bit, so we have to get it drawn in there. And then this is going to go to the opposite vanishing point. And then again, opposite vanishing point. And then I can erase the diagonal lines that I don't need anymore. And finish off my last sort of floating building here. And maybe this one I will make just go all the way down to the vanishing point because it's so close to it. And then opposite vanishing point. but I'm just going to have it close off at the vanishing point there. I could make it really skinny and make it have a vertical line here and then close off on the opposite again, but I'm just going to leave that one like that for a minute. And then I will close it off just so you can see, because you will have the choice when you guys are working on your cities if you want them to be normal shapes or not. So now I'm just going to show you what it would look like if it was completely closed off. So then that is what your 2-point perspective practice page should look like by the time it is done. Remember, this page and your 1-point perspective practice page are both due on Monday, as well as your explanation of the city that you would like to draw. This particular page is easily accessible on Google Classrooms, and you can actually type it directly in. So again, like I was saying, if you cannot print practice page 1 and practice page 2, just do your best to kind of look at the ones on Google Classrooms and recreate them. As long as I can tell that you understand 1 and 2-point perspective, you'll be able to move forward in class on Monday. Because on Monday, once you've all turned in your city plan, so to speak, then we will talk about whether 1-point or 2-point perspective is best for the particular idea that you all are aiming for this project.